Path of Night is an actual play Vampire the Masquerade podcast set in the classic world of darkness. We're all friends, we're here to have fun, but our story can include graphic violence, drug use, sexual content, and other mature themes. We've talked at our table about safety, comfort, and consent, both as players and storytellers. We know what to expect. We're all excited to be here, and we want you to feel the same, so listener discretion is advised. Now let's walk the Path of Night. Last time on Path of Night, the coterie regrouped, finally making some time to get cleaned up and changed out of their bloody clothes. Together, they had a long conversation about the clans, sects, the traditions, the power of vitae, and the basics of being a kindred of the Camarilla with Britta. Now it's time to teach the neonate how to feed, and this time, they hope, without her killing anyone.
Marco seems to be acquiring us some people to come by to help us feed tonight. Some of the things we should explain, we did inform you about the blood, but I am able to get some people to come more willingly. Sometimes when you're out there, you have to hunt on your own and use some of your own powers to do such things.
The people that you get to come willingly, they like being fed off, or?
Yes, usually. There are sometimes outliers. We're not really sure where you sit on that, but I'm fairly confident that you won't have any of those particular flaws.
Look, kid, Miles knows how to throw a party. He gets people to come, have a good time, and maybe a few of them leave with maybe a pint of blood less. Watch the way he moves around and talks to them. They know what's going on, and if you act like he's doing, you're not going to have a situation like you had the other night.
They get paid for the services, among other things.
Also, just be a little bit careful. Sometimes at Miles's parties, these are musicians, they do some drugs, get a little drunk. Feeding off of them can be kind of a trip.
Either way, once we're done here, it's going to be bedtime for us. I don't know if anyone explained this to you, but we got to watch out for the sun. It's not a pleasant experience. So once we're done here, like they said, be careful about feeding off anybody that's looking a little bit squirrely. I might transfer over to you.
Though they are easier marks.
And once we're done, we're going to want to get some rest. So, avoid anybody who's taking any uppers.
But so, okay, if I'm understanding this, if I feed off of someone who's taken something, I'll feel that effect?
Mm-hmm. Sometimes.
And why are we not sleeping during the nighttime?
Well, I'm sure you probably know a couple of things about vampires from stories and movies. Mm-hmm. One thing that they don't mess around with is the sun. That's straight up the way it is. If you see the sun, it's going to be bad. Like skin bursting into flames, that thing inside you that you can already hear scratching around is going to be freaking out. It's going to take over.
The thing that freaks out when fire's around.
You got it, kid.
Fire is also bad.
They call it the beast sometimes.
Not really a bigger fire than the sun.
But never? Like,
never.
Not sunset, not sunrise,
never,
none of that?
Ever. You got a hard dawn curfew.
In fact, I even know a couple of them that are that'll see a video or a picture of the sun and freak out.
Yeah, you're probably not that bad, but just you're gonna want to go to bed. Anyways, you'll probably be tired. It'll feel natural.
Yeah.
You'll be okay.
I don't believe you'll be able to resist.
Yeah, there's a pretty strong instinctual drive to fall asleep once the sun starts to peak.
The important lesson here is just keep an eye on what time it is and make sure whatever you're doing, you got an exit strategy to get somewhere like Miles' place.
For now, since you're under my accounting, this will be until you establish your own place where you'll be staying, for the most part. Situations barring otherwise.
Worst places to stay.
My fridge.
Okay, well,
that's...
keep bringing it up. It's just weird.
I'm very proud.
How often have you slept in your own fridge?
I'm gonna guess once or twice.
At least, but...
Half a dozen times over the years.
That's more than I expected.
Is that good? Does the cold prevent heat?
No, it's just a weird thing that wind does.
Oh.
Yes.
Eventually you'll start parsing out what's just weirdo behavior and what's regular.
Sometimes when you're moving around on the road, the best place to hide is in like a walk-in or one of those big freezer cap chests.
There's also...
They're not bad. They're sunproof. People don't tend to look at them if it's one that's been sitting in a basement somewhere.
I will definitely take your word on that one. I mean, Johnny moves around a lot more than I do.
It's also another barrier between ghosts, and if I really have had enough of them.
Do fridges keep ghosts out?
There's not enough room for them to come in and bother me.
They're limited
Okay.
by space.
Sometimes.
You know what? I'm not going to argue. Wynn knows a lot more about ghosts than I do.
But so the people that are coming, they're all right with being fed off. They're being paid. They understand, or
They don't understand.
Almost on cue, Miles, your guests arrive. They gather over in the parlor space. They start relaxing. There's some music playing. They have a few drinks. It looks like they're already making themselves comfortable.
Here's the deal, kid. Find one of these suckers that wants some attention from a girl. Give him just enough attention to get him somewhere private, and then just be real gentle about it. One of us will keep an eye on you to make sure things don't get out of hand.
you just mean gentle about just...
Sip at your drinks. Don't take shots. You get me?
I think I understand.
Take less than you feel like you can.
Okay.
And if you feel that thing inside you start crawling up, you stop immediately.
Okay.
So let's mingle for a little bit and see how it goes.
Yep. We're not going to let anything happen to you this time.
They'll probably play some music too. It'll keep the noise up and there'll be some activity.
Johnny's definitely giving her a hard, nervous glance because he knows how this can go.
Won't they remember?
Not typically. There's a process to it. When you're done feeding, you should lick the area.
Lick it?
It will, for all intents and purposes, make the marks disappear.
The puncture wounds,
Yeah.
not like the general area around you.
Good clarification, man.
I mean, I don't want to take anything for granted.
That's
Right.
fair enough. Take your time. I'm going to go make some introductions and get them feeling good about this.
Okay.
If you want someone to just kind of have your back when you're ready to go, just wink at me, and I'll just make sure that someone's with you.
Ready to go. Ready to sip.
Ready to sip.
Thank you. Thank
Yep.
you, Wynn.
Yep, it's a little scary given what you've already been through, but this is going to be a very different experience this time.
While you're talking to Britta and giving her advice, and when you say, just give me a wink, her eyes start to dilate, and as she's done kind of saying her bit, she just spaces out completely from the conversation.
Britta?
Britta, you come to seeing an individual give you a quick wink and a smile, and the two of you are relaxed together at what looks to be some sort of space that has been created to serve as a firing range. What is unusual about this is that here in this place there is no color. Everything is in grays and blacks, and the figures that are set up in the distance for you to take aim at largely consists of stone busts that have been prepared.
There's no color in the place or
The
in my
world
vision.
is without color in your vision.
Well, Britta will immediately look to her hands. Do they move within her?
You look at your hands and you find that you're wearing these fingerless gloves, and in your hand is a very simple Glock. You kind of make some quick adjustments, you check the weapon. It's all a very natural flow to you, and the individual that's next to you gives a nod of approval. This person has completely ebon skin, very short cropped hair, a thick beard. After he gives you that nod of approval, it's very good. Now, you must exhale and squeeze the trigger rather than pulling it. Take your time. You're a natural at this.
Do I find that I had any control over my actions, or was this more of a
You
vision?
looked at your hands. But beyond that, it has a very dreamlike sensation to it. And then you return to your conversation with Wynn, who's staring at you wide-eyed and confused.
Britta, you okay?
I'm sorry,
What happened, hon?
you didn't see that?
Gonna have to say no. What did you see?
Maybe this is a thing that happens sometimes. Everything went gray, and I could kind of look around. There was a man there. I didn't recognize him, and I was going to a shooting range.
Like for guns?
Yeah, I was holding a Glock, and he seemed happy about that.
Okay.
This is part of the night, right?
There's a lot of individualized experiences that we have. That's not one I think I've heard of, maybe. Doesn't come to mind immediately.
You know, I have heard tell that some of the older ones, a lot of times of Miles' clan, can mess around with people's memories. Get inside your head and strip things out.
Did it feel like a memory?
It felt like a dream.
I don't know if the Toreador can do that.
Is that a known ability for the Toreador?
Like I said, I don't have too much interaction with your bloodline. It might be able to do that as well.
What did I look like? I was still here?
You were still here. Your pupils blew, and you just didn't seem like you were here anymore. You were physically here.
I think you're going to start to have moments like that more and more often, kid.
I'll
just try to roll with the punches on those.
Yeah, I'll try to keep an eye out for them, I guess.
Yeah. Is this something I could make an occult roll to investigate?
Yes. Just you.
Okay.
Your fate should draw the connection.
2 successes.
With 2 successes, you know that the underworld is a place without color.
The underworld is in
The
organized crime,
Shadowlands.
or Shadowlands. Okay.
So I'll come back over. You seem to be ready
Yeah,
for mingling and such, and if they're feeling well, let them play a couple songs or 2, and then they'll go from there. Did something happen?
I think so.
We can talk about it now, or we can put it off till later. That's your
some
choice.
flashbacks. You shaking, kid? Or are you with us?
I'm here. I just well, if we have to wait for them to play a couple songs anyway, should we not talk about it, or is this something that...
I mean, feel free, but good. Flashbacks makes me confident that possibly your memory will come back. Before, I was unsure if that had just splintered.
I'm not even sure if it was a memory. I mean, it felt like me, but it felt like a dream.
Does that sound like the effects of dominating when it starts breaking?
The reports for what experiences can be like when that can change, it varies.
Okay.
The fact that you said it was black and white
Yes.
indicates underworld, Shadowland involvement.
Like ghosts?
Yeah.
Possibly.
Look,
It's
like I said, these things are going to start happening more and more often, and we got a party that's going on out there, and you're starting to sound like you're trying to get out of this. So I'm going to push you in the deep end, kid. Let's move.
Wait just a minute. Neil reaches into his pocket and pulls out like a little nylon zip-up coin purse and pulls out like a 1969 quarter and hands it over.
She takes it.
There's like a little scratch mark across the front. Sometimes, I don't know what you guys are really talking about here with Shadowlands and stuff, but sometimes when you sort of freak out, sometimes when you start seeing things that aren't there, it helps to keep you grounded, keep you in the moment. So if Johnny's right and this kind of stuff does keep happening more often, just try and maintain your sense of reality as much as possible. It's these little tokens of grounding. They can help keep you in the real world.
Focusing on the coin when things get bad?
Yeah. Or just, if you ever hit a point where you're not sure what's real and what's not, having these objects that ground you in the real, they can help.
Thank you, Neil. I'll keep this with me.
Sure, yeah. But Johnny's right. You gotta go feed.
No, Johnny, you are, yep. I'll go try.
It's better to do it before you're hungry.
Okay.
Everybody's made that mistake, and If we can make sure that doesn't happen to you, that'd be great.
Okay.
You guys have fun. And Neil opens the door to the porch and walks outside.
He's not much of a people person.
Neil, outside, you kind of hear Miles's commentary on your way out. Don't really argue it.
I like to think of myself as a people person.
But outside it's kind of quiet. Starry night.
It's cold.
The clouds have largely parted. There isn't really much in the way of traffic out this way.
I'm going to walk out into the yard. I know that Miles has a private yard with a lot of trees sort of open up in the sky. And I'm just going to walk out, and as I'm walking, I'm going to do that awkward thing where you take your shoes off while you're still walking, and then strip my socks off and just stand in the yard with my bare feet in the dirt.
It is very cold. They're like kind of clumps of kind of soggy snow that cling between your toes. But it feels like this is what you need. It's working.
I open up the same coin purse that I took out, and it has one of those inside zippers. And I open the inside zipper and pull out a Susan B. Anthony coin. It has sort of a reddish tint to it, like it's dirty. Neil just puts it into his mouth, looks up at the stars, and his cheeks swell for a second. This small trickle of blood comes out of one corner of his mouth. He kind of wipes it away, and his eyes dilate to the point where you can't see the whites anymore. It's just all black, and he looks directly up at the sky. Tell me what's gonna happen, huh? What do you have to show me?
Give me a roll.
Alright. And I will blow willpower for this. That is 5 successes. Which
Prepare
is...
for spoilers.
I mean, technically, any potential future within a century, but feel free to narrow that down. I'm asking for the next year or so.
Okay. You get a lot all at once.
Yeah.
And as you parse through this barrage of possible futures, you see a handful of things that stand out to you. You have a vision of Johnny holding a girl sobbing, broken. Who the girl is, though, is unclear. The next thing you see is the group of you walking into Elysium. Elsa Linden's beautiful eyes go wide with panic as someone is unceremoniously tossed into the Elysium. Who threw them in, it's unclear. But this person lands in cuffs, breathing heavily as if sedated, and as he starts to rouse with a circle of kindred, confused, concerned kindred gathering around him, his body jerks and spasms as muscle expands and bone cracks. And then you see 3 scions, individuals with a third glowing eye, like a pearl, more than an actual, like, human eye, battling against a many-faced demon over a raging storm. And then you see a great red, baleful eye. And then you come to.
Neil continues to stand for a while, looking at the stars, hearing the secrets that whisper to him. And even though he doesn't have to breathe, he takes a calming breath, forcing air into his dead lungs and expelling it. And he's been out here long enough that his body is the same temperature as the air, so there's not even a hint of steam. He blinks his eyes, trying to blink away the too bright night. Slowly, the world starts to come back into focus, and he can hear the music coming from inside. And then we'll turn around and just sort of walk in a daze back into the house, forgetting his shoes outside.
Just leave them out there.
Just not even considering that he took them off in the first place. Definitely not considering that Miles is probably going to be mad when he just tracks mud straight through his house and walks down there and gets into the shower.
Every so many steps, you find yourself reminded of the many-faced demon. And when you turn on the shower, you hear the water start to go. And you see it again and again and again. And though the power of heaven and earth has already flown through you and moved on, you still find yourself attuned with the heavens. This connection, you feel something pull on it as it starts to stir. and you find yourself pondering a cave far, far, far away. Reaching up from this tomb is the decrepit, black, charred hand of a child. And then you take a shower.
Thinking about a tiny, black, charred hand rising out of a tomb, Neil lays down in the shower and scoots as far away from the drain as he possibly can and just curls up in the fetal position and lets the water hit him, trying not to see patterns in the water, and closes his eyes as much as he's capable.
You find it very difficult to turn it off.
Yeah.
Miles, you are approached by your manservant, who informs you that your guest has ruined the floor completely and wishes to know how you would like this resolved.
Keep an eye on him. He went to do something that...
Miles, he has wandered off to the shower. I don't know if that would necessarily be appropriate.
Well, I meant if he stays in there a long period of time. Neil is odd, so...
How long should I wait before I watch him shower?
If it's still running by sun up.
Ah, I see. Yes, understood.
Otherwise, please just do what you can about the floor.
Yes.
I will berate him later.
Thank you. He turns and heads off to take care of the
Marcos,
floor.
if you want, I can check on him. It's not a problem. You don't have to watch him shower if you don't
What the two
want
of
to.
you do with your free time is entirely up to you. I will see to the floor.
Thumbs up to Marcos.
As an aside, do you worry about your water bill?
No?
Okay. Didn't
People
think
worry
so.
about bills?
Some people have bills. I don't.
Fucking bedroom.
Come on, let's go.
Miles, you're relaxing, you're chatting with everyone. It looks like there are a couple of bottles of wine into the night, and everyone's having a great time.
Fantastic. I'll keep an eye out, but I need to start feeding myself.
Yeah, honestly, they're not even interested in the weird mud tracks that have gone through the location, so they're definitely at a point now where they're probably ready for feeding.
Right. Good. I will start myself, use a little bit of... basically just try and move them away. Normal, and if it ever comes up to being a problem, I will then use a form of dominate on them.
Okay, why don't you just give me a quick manipulation and leadership to guide them along. The difficulty is normally 5.
So that's 7 dice? 7 successes?
Fabulous. You're like this one, and you begin leading them off. Britta, as you're watching this, Miles very quickly and casually just kind of scoops up his mark, and they wander off for more of a private chat away from everyone else.
Britta watches this happen, sort of unconsciously flipping the coin over in her fingers and rubbing along the scratch in it. She is trying to not stare, but she's watching his process and staring. She is just...
I think I'll throw a wink at her on the way through and...
Yeah, as you're going by Britta, you can definitely tell she's gawking and uncomfortable.
Right, just like...
Johnny
essentially
will actually,
like the thumbs up, like...
Johnny will sneak up behind Britta and kind of like elbow her and lean in and be like, hey, middle part and Cardigan's been staring at you all night. It's going to be easy.
That guy over there?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Thanks, Johnny. I'll give it a go.
Mm-hmm. He just kind of like casually like just turns, stops looking at her and moves off somewhere else.
Wynn kind of sizes up which one of them is most likely to have weed on them. I'm assuming she finds the drummer.
Okay, first of all...
Your drummer senses are tingling.
Yep.
And
she just kind of gives them the knowing, hey, let's go outside. She kind of gives Britta, an encouraging smile, and she stays closer to a window so Britta can call for her if need be.
the guy that Wynn approaches halfway through her suggesting they go outside, he's like checking his pockets to remember where he keeps it and is getting up to follow her out. Looks like your friend Miles has taken a great many steps to ensuring that this controlled area has the mortals that are present, the kine, primed for feeding.
Britta tries to smile back to Wynn, but it is just not reaching the eyes. She starts realizing, all right, it's time to do something. She tries to fix her hair. Nothing is right. Starts pacing kind of towards middle part and cardigan, but chickens out halfway through and walks back to the other end of the room. Question. I have, for appearance, I have doe-eyed, as in deer in headlights. I imagine that's super relevant at the moment.
Yeah. Give me an appearance, and do you have leadership there?
I have 2 leadership, yeah.
Sure. So you have an appearance rating of 4. Mm-hmm. You have leadership 2. You're going to go ahead and roll 6 dice. Your difficulty is 5, and because your specialty is appropriate, your specialty will apply.
2 successes.
So with 2 successes, the man in the cardigan that you've targeted gives a very confident smile, and as though he were in control of the situation and not prey himself, he approaches you, leans one elbow up against the doorway, and says to you, "I am Keith."
Britta tries to match his posture. She puts her elbow on the doorway, but kind of misses.
Yeah, he adjusts his elbow when your elbow gets too close to his elbow as you encroach on his elbow space.
She sees him kind of move back, and she makes eye contact with him.
He makes eye contact with her.
Hi, I'm leaving.
What? He kind of very subtly smells himself as you wander off.
And Britta goes over to the, whichever bottle of wine is hidden in the least accessible corner. She's definitely trying to avoid the rest of her kind. And tries to pour herself a drink.
You very easily pour yourself a nice glass of wine.
Forgot about this.
It's hard to miss the fact that Johnny, who is sitting on the couch talking to the girl in the leather jacket, is sitting there with this angry expression of, "What the fuck, dude?"
Do I see that?
Is
I'm
that-
actively trying to avoid
You
them. Do I
see it, but it doesn't count.
I will awe her into seeing the fact that I am upset. Offensive awe. What's a roll on that?
Is it performance charisma? Something like that?
Sure.
Sounds...
No one told me.
True.
I am
man.
ready for this.
So many blind spots. I love it.
If you don't have performance, what is it, -1?
+1 diff.
+1 diff, okay. Difficulty...
This feels exactly
7.
like how a feed scene would go for me.
No.
He just waves his arms to no avail as you, with dogged determination, stare at your glass of wine.
I'm gonna take a sip.
All right. You take a sip. Can I take a look at your character sheet, please?
Mm-hmm. Are you looking for the merit? Eat food, because it's not there.
That's what I'm looking for. All right. For the rest of you, for those who are in the room and not in the shower,
I'm also
whimpering.
gone, so...
You see her gulp down wine.
As the wine comes up, Johnny leans back in the chair and puts his boot up.
Wynn kind of
smirks.
catches a glimpse of this through the window, and her eyes just get real wide. Oh no!
Marcos just looks panicked.
If it's possible for Wynn to rap on the window in time,
You're
it's better.
a rap too late.
Yep.
And you drink the wine, and it tastes like soot in your mouth as you swallow it, and then your innards tremble violently, and you spew this mess out of your mouth onto the couch, onto Keith, who is attempting to salvage the situation and approaching you.
Hello,
And the
darkness, my
room
old
goes
friend.
quiet. You hear the music cut, and everyone is just very quiet and awkward, except for Johnny, who has his boots up.
As everyone's staring, what came out?
You're not sure. It looks like more wine came out than went in.
Wait, can you lose blood traits by throwing up?
Find out. You haven't done this in a while.
So, I look to Keith first, since that's who I got with this.
You see him wiping this wine from his eyes with a semi-frightened, bewildered, yet curious expression on him.
Keith, I'm so sorry. That's why I had to go. I'm gonna go right now. And I just.
But wait, he says as you flee.
What's the nearest? Like, is there a closet of some sort? Like ideally, like I imagine I'm opening.
So,
closet.
Miles, you are
Scooby-Doo
off
theme
and alone,
place.
and you've just fed just enough, so they start getting a little woozy. You lay them down on the love seat, and they hear out in the hallway. Just someone is rattling every doorknob as they're like going down this
I
hallway.
open it up.
Britta, describe what he sees.
So you see Britta, and she would have tried to wipe her mouth, but she probably missed something. She's still holding the wine glass. It's probably has spilled out a little bit at this point. I imagine she's still holding the bottle as well. She kind of just starts when you open the door. She wasn't expecting. She didn't know what she was expecting. She just wanted to leave, and so you open the door. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to.
Stop. Get a hold of yourself.
Okay.
What has gone wrong?
I don't think I'm feeling well. I must have gotten
Did you try to drink that?
the wine. Yeah.
Well, we did forget to warn you. I closed the door. We can't eat or drink normal things. Our body rejects it, unless you make special effort to take it in, and even then, you will later reject it.
Just no food ever.
We all try it, at least once, and you notice that it suffered from not having taste, or tasted awful.
It tasted like ash.
Well, that's kind of a safety mechanism to start.
Okay.
It makes you not want to keep trying it.
Yeah, no, I really,
I'd take the bottle from her. I'd take the wine glass. I assume you were not successful so far.
No, look, Miles, I think I can just...
Stop.
I think we could do this later.
Center yourself. It is control is paramount.
I'm centered, Miles. It's just that I don't think that we should do this right now if I can just skip a night or something like that.
Do you remember why you were brought in?
Yes.
Do you want that to happen again?
No.
Then you need to do these under controlled circumstances when you're not starving. Otherwise, you will kill again.
Is the guy still in the room?
No, you bailed on him.
No, sorry, his guy.
I closed the door.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Look, this is tough, but it is also necessary. This is the most controlled circumstance that I can put you under. Most don't get it to the same degree. Some are just left to fend to themselves to a certain amount. You need, and it is paramount, you need to master this. It is one of the most basic things.
Okay. Alright. I'm gonna go change shirts. And I'll be right back.
I'm sure Marcos will help you once he is done cleaning up wherever that originally happened.
Britta puts her hands over her face, but...
It is a good lesson. You can yet again focus that blood to your system if you do need to pose like you're eating or drinking something. Like it is another effect the blood can do, just in case.
What do you mean?
Sometimes you have to pose like you're eating and like a normal person.
And what, just keep it in my cheek, or...?
No, you can keep it. It'll stay inside you for a little while.
Okay. Alright, thank you.
No, these things happen. Just remember, don't let it defeat you. Center yourself, come back in. I'm sure whoever it is will forgive you.
Okay. And, she turns away, sort of squares her shoulders, and, looks for Marcos to find another shirt.
You find Marcos
I'm sure the party moved to a different room after that.
Yeah, Johnny actually tries to push the party to move out into the porch for cigarettes or something like that.
Yeah, they go out. Wynn wanders off and is led away from this guy that's still trying to get her high. And Marcos is down there, just dabbing and trying to clean as much as he can. Keith is still there next to him, saying, "Hey, do you think she's okay? I'm kind of worried about her."
Britta will come in and she'll see first Marcos trying to clean it up. She'll notice Keith after, but just have a first immediate impulse of, "Marcos, I'm so sorry. Hi, Keith. I'm really maybe we can put it through the washing machine or
Britta, this is a couch.
His shirt.
Yes, of course.
Long-suffering ghoul.
Well, where did that bottle of wine go?
I think this is about my cue to come in with the glass and the wine.
Yeah.
Thank you, Marcos. I know it is a lot, but she needs another shirt. Sir, why don't you move out? Keith, why don't you move out to your friends for now? Just let things settle down.
Yeah, if you need anything. He goes and he starts wandering off.
I put a hand on Marcus' shoulder and said, "Thank you very much. To help her out. Just first night, Jim."
I will do everything I can, Miles.
Thank you.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to ruin the couch.
Couches get ruined.
Are we giving up on this couch then?
I'll leave it up to your professional opinion.
He grumbles and he just kind of goes back to trying to save
Shirt
the couch.
first, we'll save the couch later. We can always replace it.
He heads off to go get a shirt.
I put the bottle back there. I'm like, it's no saving this couch.
The couch actually does not look that bad. It's just imperfect.
Oh, I don't think I noticed that. There's no way. The couch is ruined to me. It doesn't matter if it's, impeccable. I have done this.
Mm-hmm. There's no going back to that couch.
Yeah. Once I change, I take a deep breath once again, do some pacing.
Yeah, you got a nice I Love New York t-shirt.
I'm running out of good t-shirts.
Try to tie it up on the side, knot it, make it look a little cute. But, alright, I look to where the party has moved to, the porch, and I will drag my feet out there.
As you head out, the crowd of people that have been chatting and talking about who knows what suddenly gets very quiet the moment you step outside.
Kind of look around at that and try to smile, kind of nod at a couple people and walk across to something.
Is Wynn still... can she see her come out and the party die? She just yells, "Puff, puff, pass, motherfucker!" And to try and draw attention away from her.
Yeah, honestly, a couple of people kind of make their way over. They're smelling what's going on. They're curious. They're musicians. And
by the time you get back onto the porch, Johnny is absent with the woman in the leather jacket that he was chatting up. No safe haven with a Johnny out there. You got to mingle now.
So I make my way over to one of the corners of the porch and try to scope out, alright, who looks the least judgmental is basically her thought here.
it is not a good scene for that right now.
No.
I think we're going to move the party in and try to soften the overall experience. We'll move it to another room.
Yeah, it's like
from outside.
It's like a range between amusement and pity. And it's unclear as to which of those feels better.
Yeah, well, if we soften it up a bit, but I need to get another person too. I don't have forever.
After some of the smoking happens, now that everyone has kind of gone outside, it's really cold, they start to disperse, and all of the shifting around has the evening winding down at this point.
No, I gotta grab another one before.
Is Wynn able to get a decent meal out of this guy?
Absolutely.
Alright. Is he conscious enough to notice if I take his weed?
No.
Okay. She just kind of takes it, pockets it.
I'll try to talk to someone who's expressing more amusement. Is there someone who in particular struck me as not really maybe just pitying me?
Keith.
Oh, he's still talking to me.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's committed now.
Oh, he's committed now. So how's this going? Am I trying to talk to people, and is he following me, or how's he doing this?
Imagine he'd be hovering.
Yeah, he's definitely doing like the he seems to have nominated himself as your designated caretaker for the evening, and he keeps kind of like insinuating his way into conversations, very subtly checking on you, kind of nagging.
Well, Britta will try to talk to a couple people. She'll find it very discouraging when people act like amused. She tries to laugh along with them, kind of fails. But when people are more towards the scared side, that sets off her own fear, and she gets more and more tense and just less socially capable, to the point where she has a couple of these conversations, I imagine, and Keith butts in, and she circles all the way back around to being willing to try to talk to him. So I imagine maybe he cuts in after someone walks away from her.
I feel like someone is being a little derisive about your incident, and he actually kind of cuts into the conversation so that he can save you and be like your social protector.
When he does that, thank him. Thank you, Keith. I really appreciate that you don't think I'm gross.
What? No way. I don't think you're gross at all.
Really? Even after that?
That happens sometimes.
It's never happened to me before, I don't think.
No, I mean, I don't really think it'd be something that happens to you very much, you know? Yeah.
Well, how did you want your night to go?
He kind of like laughs awkwardly and gives like a very bashful smile. You know, I kind of wanted to meet someone nice, and I feel like I've done that. You know, all in all, this is, you know, a pretty sick night.
Yeah, I need to go away from being able to hear this at all. I just find someone and just pull them away again.
Britta sort of does the uncomfortable ditzy laugh that you do, like the when you don't know how to respond.
Yeah, I think you're.
Yeah, I know that one.
I think you're cool.
Thanks. You too.
Hey, you like New York?
I
love New York.
I'll move into Britta's eye line, so that way if she needs an extraction...
This is so uncomfortable. I'm so glad that I'm in a demon fetal position coma right now. It is a much more tenable place to be.
The second
Wynn knows what happens to young girls at parties sometimes, and her alert is kind of high at this point.
Welcome to the world of darkness.
This is so awful.
The world of awkward is what this is more than anything.
You know,
Yo.
You know, I'm really don't really want to be around. You know, people are being kind of mean. Maybe we could just.
Yeah, this party sucks. There, I said it.
Do you want to just maybe go to? We could talk for a bit in another room and.
Yeah, sure, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, lead the way.
Yeah.
You gotta hear Miles murmur his complaints about this guy.
I probably walk by as I'm trying to bring him to probably the same room that I ran it into, because I know that's like safe. It's deemed by Miles to be an acceptable feeding place.
There's an unconscious person.
Oh, is there?
Well, the door opens, and you find someone napping on the couch.
That makes Britta just too uncomfortable, and she closes the door and moves to another room.
There's more rooms.
Is everything okay?
Oh, there's just someone sleeping. I don't want to wake them up.
Oh, you want like more private? Okay.
Britta is just going wider and wider eyes every time that she says something unintentional, and every time she just drops silent, stares at him.
He stares back.
Tries the ditzy laugh and continues to find a room. And
you're actually finding the ditzy laugh to be extremely effective. Like, whenever he thinks something unusual is happening, maybe he might like have some self-doubt, The ditzy laugh puts him right back on course.
Douchebag kryptonite.
That just makes her worse.
So
When she sees it
see my
working,
van?
when she sees
he
it
absolutely
working,
has a van.
Yeah, it's a shitty musician.
You know how these are games
Wizard
of personal
fan.
horror? That's what's happening right now.
This is my nightmare.
This is the most horrifying episode we're going to put out.
Yeah.
It's not even a wizard van. It's like a Ford Windstar.
Oh, boy. Like,
It's a 90s minivan.
It's got the wood paneling.
Oh, good
I
God.
hate this so much.
everyone just feel it.
It needs a belt.
so every time that it works, she just gets worse. But eventually, she finds a room, right?
Yeah, when
Stepmom's old van.
pretty much the moment you
I got to buy it off her for like 20
you lead him into a room, he kind of like leans back, shutting the door behind the two of you,
Yep. Okay.
and then he locks it.
No.
Hey, just don't want to be interrupted.
We don't. I know.
Is that okay? I don't want to make you uncomfortable.
If we could leave. The door's probably fine. I think everyone's.
Yeah, it's fine.
So if we could, and she will move to unlock it.
He does not seem to understand the social cue that you are giving him, and he instead seizes this opportunity to kind of like put hands on your hips and try to kiss you.
She will let him try to kiss her, and she'll try to kiss back, but try to angle for the neck, and if...
He like stops and like there's like a bit of blood on his lip. Like, what the hell?
And as soon as she sees the blood, that is an instant. She freezes, she looks back to him, and she pushes by him to try to unlock the door and leave.
He puts his hand up against the door. Hey, what the hell?
What's
your problem?
Wynn starts running up the stairs.
Okay.
At hearing this. Like, this is... No, we're done.
I
Let me know when she can kick the door.
Okay. Miles, you hear wind running through your house. It is not a good sound.
I'm moving in that general direction. I hate replacing doors and door frames.
I'm sorry.
Walls.
No, it's fine. He goes to kiss you again.
She'll tolerate it if he seems like he'll let her try to... Again, she'll try to move for the neck. Although I feel like...
Yeah, he kind of... He's very pushy, so it's actually kind of hard to, like, maneuver for the throat. Mm-hmm. But it does ultimately happen, and the moment your fangs make contact against his throat, and, like, you can kind of feel his flesh give, he goes a little, like, limp against it and kind of makes, like, like uncomfortable sounds, and just, like, leans into your bite.
Oh, no. She takes her teeth out.
You're like, some blood, like, spatters, and when you make it to the door...
if I get there enough to... If she starts...
I'm going to listen real quick.
Okay.
And make sure that this has not turned into something successful. I hear her go...
He is limp? How is he?
Well, when you stop, he starts to kind of regain his sense of self. But in that moment, when you bit him, he's kind of like leaned in and gave himself over to the sensation you were causing.
I will, as if I see him regain sensation, I will try to lick the wound.
So when your fangs are in him, he's very like languid at first, just like leaning into it and enjoying it. And then when you take the fangs off of his neck, there's this look of frustration comes over him, and he's like, is something wrong? And he does not seem to have noticed, but your incident has smeared blood straight down his neck onto his collar.
Am I successful in licking the wound?
Yes.
Okay. I'm so sorry. I think I'm gonna puke again, and I
It's
really
okay.
need to... What? I know.
When you hear that, you hear, I think I'm going to puke, and him being like, it's okay.
Britta, knock, 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 knock. Honey, are you all right?
I really need to go to the bathroom and just get this out.
Okay, come on out.
I think this room has a bathroom.
Does it?
You look, and there's absolutely a bathroom.
Britta, unlock the door, honey.
Does he stop me if I try to unlock the door?
Begrudgingly, he lets you open the door.
I'm running.
Hey, wait!
No, I think you're done, lover boy.
He looks, and there's just like blood down his neck. He does not seem to have noticed.
If I've made it
I'm
around
just
this-
gonna bite.
All right,
Wynn takes over where
That's-
it left off.
not so welcome. I'm actually gonna need a Dex plus Brawl.
Like, I come around the corner, she's like... Fucking Christ. God damn Gangrel.
Happy New Year, everybody.
3 successes. If it's a difficulty
Yeah,
6.
no, you snatch him up in your hands. He's like, "Oh, what are you doing?" And then you bite him, and he's just, "Ugh," and he's done.
Par for the course. Just feed him until he's sleepy times.
Okay.
This has still gone better than at least one of my dates.
Wow.
Oh boy.
I mean, I've also been there, so...
And he faints, and the party winds down big time.
I lick him, pull his shirt off.
Shirt off.
I just throw it in a laundry basket.
Miles, your manservant comes by. He's like, "There's another incident again.
I was partially privy to this. Which incident are we talking about?
There is another bloodied shirt, but the laundry's already going. So should I just set this one aside? Throw it away?
Let's just throw it
Let's
away.
just throw it away. Oh,
Just
sounds
just
great.
give him a college shirt of some sort or another. Push him out the door with an extra $100 and call it a
This is
night.
like another I Love New York t-shirt.
Yep. We just have a
University of
stockpile of
New
them.
You're welcome.
And
I have definitely found...
I want them to be like misprints, actually.
Once
Collectible that way.
contained this situation, going looking for her.
I am finding the quietest, like, I'm hiding. I am just looking for a place to sit in a corner and cry.
it turns out there is a lot of corners here.
That is, I am turning, I'm sitting, I'm hugging my knees, and I'm gonna cry.
You cry, and you can actually kind of see, like, red, and your eyes get, like, a little blurry
Johnny
from the
will
crying.
grab you by the collar and kind of haul you up. We're going outside. Come on.
Johnny,
Yeah. He passes you a cigarette.
she takes it, trying to rub her face. It's probably just making it worse.
Just sneered.
Knock that shit off.
I'm sorry,
Oh my god, if you apologize one more time, I'm gonna lose my shit.
She goes quiet.
He opens up, finds a quiet spot on the porch. What went wrong?
He locked the door, and I tried to get him to unlock it, and he wouldn't, and
You realize that little side part Torp is just some kind of shithead musician. And you are a fanged monster that could have drained him of all of his blood.
I don't want to hurt people.
I know, but you gotta remember, you're the one that has all the power. And if you don't want to hurt him, that's a choice you can make. But if he does something you don't like, well, that's a choice you can make.
I bit him, and he just went limp, and it felt like seeing his body so still, it reminded me of earlier, and I just...
Yeah, that's what happens when you feed. They just kind of give into it. You gotta understand that that's the moment where you gotta be in control. Take that sip, and just set them down. Let them sleep it off. How's that thing inside you doing? You gotta point a gnarly finger kind of at your chest.
How's it doing?
You're starting to get kind of hungry. For some reason, that car chase took a bit out of you.
It's kind of active.
You're probably running real hot in your blood right now.
I'll go try again.
What do we say we put a pin in this tonight? Tomorrow night, you gotta promise me, though, that you're gonna feed, because we can't have you running out of control.
I promise, Johnny. I'll try. I will feed tomorrow night.
Wynn comes and taps on the door and kind of looks out. Like, is this a good time?
If you can't do it gently, I'm gonna smash somebody's face in and force feed you the blood. Okay? So if you want this to go well, you keep your promise. He kind of waves to Win. It's good.
Big night. Come here, hon. And she just kind of puts an arm out, like, for you to come.
Britta does so hesitantly.
It's all right. That guy was an asshole, and you showed a lot more self-control than I would have. Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm okay.
Okay. We should have figured out some way to do this with someone else with you, so that way we could talk you through these hard moments.
I'm not always gonna have someone with
You're
me.
not, but that's an option now. And you might be directly under Miles's accounting, but we are all signed on for this. And we want to see you succeed.
I always figured you'd be more tough love with a young one, Win. You're awfully soft. I wouldn't peg you to be someone to coddle somebody.
This isn't coddling so much. You've never been a woman vampire, Johnny.
Ain't that the truth?
This is a tough world, and you are going to have to feed.
I'll do it tomorrow.
Yep. Well, it's not going to be an option after tomorrow. Because you're going to get yourself into a rough place. But we will be there to make sure it goes, and then you can learn all the sensations at once.
They always go limp like that.
Yeah. It's actually a really good sign that he went limp. There are some people who fight it. Some kindred who have this quality to them that makes them fight. And if you don't have that, that's really good. It means that ultimately they're cool with it. They feel something that draws them towards it. You are taking from them, but I don't think you're causing them pain. Does that make it any easier?
I'll try to think of it that way.
If that doesn't work, think of it as, I don't know if this is going to help, it's you or them. Or both of you. It can still be both of you.
Okay.
All right?
I kind of just want to go to bed.
Yeah, it's about that time.
As the night's really just about done, those who were fed from kind of gathered. Keith's a little confused with the new shirt, but whatever. When asked about why he's in a different shirt from one of his friends as they leave, he tells a very different story about what got him to that point. And the musicians wander off into the night, stumbling, a little drunk, a little, anemic. And you're now at a point where the night, the sky isn't quite as dark as it was, and the sun is well on its way.
Let's find some places for you to sleep.
When Johnny, you're already starting to kind of feel the pull of the sun.
Wait, where's Neil?
I will deal with him in a few minutes. Let's get you guys situated. And
I was going to head down to the basement for the night anyway.
The basement is where we're all heading.
Okay.
And I will see what's going on with that, and if we need help, we'll go from there. Maybe he just really needed to take a super long shower. Who knows? It's Neil. He is an adult.
That's one word for it.
Right, so let's get you situated some quarters. They're a little bit bare bones, but they'll be sunproof.
It's not Win and I's first time here. We can show Britta where to lay down.
Sure.
You go take care of Neil. Let us know if you need anything.
Yep.
But when they lead you down, they're full-on guest rooms. It's maybe Spartan. There aren't paintings on the wall, but
It's motel art.
yeah.
The Miles version of Spartan.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's a TV.
I mean, there's only one Tiffany lamp in each room.
Then I knock on Neil's bathroom door.
The shower is definitely going still.
Neil? Sun's coming up.
No answer.
I open the door.
The shower.
Wall of steam.
The shower's going. A wall of steam pours out.
Foggy London town.
I go in there and I will turn the shower off so that I can see him.
Occupado.
Yeah, well, maybe you should have responded like that before I opened the door.
Well, I thought maybe not responding, you would get that I wanted to be alone for a little while.
You've been alone for the past 3 hours.
Is that how long it's been?
Yes.
Oh, you have a fantastic hot water tank.
Yes.
Hey, bud.
Sun's coming up soon. You should probably be in a better location.
Okay.
There's a room nearby.
Yeah, thanks.
There's a robe.
Thank you.
Please put it on.
Neil steps out, and he is just in his clothes that are soaking wet with no shoes on.
His clothes have retained a ton of water, so it's just... water's just pouring out of him, yeah.
Weren't you wearing jeans?
Mm-hmm.
Waterlogged.
I was wearing jeans and a polyester shirt, yes.
Can you even stand?
What is my strength?
You're strength 2, right?
Yeah, I'm strength 2. I'm fine.
Yeah, he gets up.
Do you need some help?
No, I'm fine. Yeah, like a pair of pajamas or something, do you? That's okay. I can sleep naked. It's fine.
Here's a robe.
Thank you. He starts unbuttoning his shirt, and
if you're okay, I will leave this here, but I will wait for the next couple of minutes to make sure this doesn't relapse.
Hey man, Johnny's got a daughter, right?
He seems to have indicated such.
Okay.
If he wanted her to be involved at all,
no, that's not.
Usually think it's best to leave those things buried.
Okay. Yeah, okay.
You okay? You see something out there?
I don't know, I'm still trying to parse it.
Do I need to increase my security?
No.
Oh. Well, that's good.
I don't think it would help.
That's not as good. Why don't you get to sleep?
I'm gonna get some sleep.
Yeah.
It's been an
interesting night.
It's been an auspicious night.
Yes.
And Neil will, like, in his wet jeans and robe, just walk past you towards, like, the nearest bedroom.
Yeah.
The group of you make your way to your different rooms, and as the sun rises, you are forced to sleep.
Path of Night is an actual play Vampire the Masquerade podcast set in the classic world of darkness. Britta, the unknown new embrace, was played by Rebecca Steigelfest. Johnny Saxon the Bruja was played by Garrett Gabbey. Miles Davenport the Venture was played by Tim Davis. Neil Foster the Malkavian was played by Rob Muirhead. Wynn Cabot the Gangrel was played by Erica Webb. Your storyteller was Lex Lopez. Recording by Rebecca Steigelfest. This episode edited by Rob Muirhead. The music used in this episode was January Grunge Love Fest by Technoax. Visit them online at technoax.com. TEKNOAX.com. Path of Night uses the 20th anniversary edition rule set of Vampire the Masquerade with a few limited house rules. Vampire the Masquerade and the Storyteller system are owned by Paradox Interactive. Make sure to subscribe to us on iTunes or wherever you get your podcasts. Follow us on Twitter at PathOfNightPod, on Facebook at facebook.com/PathOfNightPodcast, or email us at pathofnightpodcast@gmail.com. See you next time, Kindred.
Alright, that guy's in trouble. I'm gonna give him something to cry about. Alright, kid, make a fist and punch my hand. Say, fuck you!
Okay, do you put your thumb behind your
Nope, thumb outside.
And now we're
outside?
all
Thumb
stretched
outside.
out.
Thumb
She had to
outside.
take
Yep,
it there.
keep your wrist like this. You gotta keep your hand a
Except
little
for
curved.
thumb
It's mostly to keep your wrist bones straight.
Yep.
Alright, and then just let Johnny have it.
Okay.
And tell him, say, fuck you, Johnny. You're not my real dad.
Okay.
Fuck you, Johnny. You're not my real dad. Actually, yeah, that's
There's
loud.
a lot to unpack there.
What the fuck?
That was
What, that's
hurtful on like a couple
Okay,
different levels.
that should be
to,
good.
like,
That's what a
everyone
lot of
involved.
rebellious teenagers yell.